Hey everyone, it's Mandi, the board gaming pinup girl, and I'm here at Gen Con 2017, Foxmind Games. We're going to talk to JC Doré about some new games with Foxmind. How are you?
Good, and you?
Very good.
So with Foxmind, we have 3 new games at Gen Con.
Okay.
The first one being a bluffing game called Museumized.
Ooh.
It's an original Alex Randolph game. We did many designs in the past, and we redid the game for a 2 to 4 player version, and we added the theme of the museum to make it more thrilling, if you will.
Oh, okay, so exciting. We like this.
Yeah.
And this is it here?
Yeah, this is it here.
Okay, perfect.
And the way you actually play the game is that each player have a set of 7 cards, and they're all the seven same characters that are on the museum board here.
Okay.
We need to move them around and make them reach the token. And once they reach the token, you need to be guessing if someone is bluffing or not on being who's who. You need to guess who is which character.
Okay.
If you're able to accuse someone of being a character before he reaches the token, then you spotted him and you win the token actually.
Okay.
But if you're able to reach the token and no one notices you and you're the only one having that character, you will win the token. So it's meant to be a 20-minute game, and the first player who wins 3 tokens wins the game. And what's fun about the game is actually seeing the people moving around the museum, and all the tension builds up when you have all these characters roaming around the token. Because at that point you're thinking, will I accuse someone or will I be brave enough to jump in on the artwork token? So this is Museumized. Another one I could show you is the slide last game, which is building the longest slide.
So before we go to that, quick question.
Yes.
Is this play better, I'm assuming, with higher player counts?
It's at the base of the game. It was meant to be a 2-player game.
Oh, really? Which is interesting for that type of game.
So 2-player game is perfect, and 4 adds some flavor to it because there's more player interaction.
Okay. And une autre question pour vous, for our French viewers, because I know they're going to ask it. They ask me at work all the time. Is the manual? Is it bilingual? Like, is there available? Okay. Perfect. See, I asked for it. Okay. So now we're going to look at Slide Blast, and we have a guest with us, so she's playing, having fun, but we're just going to focus on the game so she can keep playing. Okay.
So Slide Blast is a tiling game where the goal is to actually make the longest slide.
Oh, okay.
So in the game you have sliding meeples that go around the water park.
Okay.
And you lay tiles and you try to do the longest slide by adding different types of tiles. So you would have oversized tiles like these. You would also have high-speed tiles where when you play a tile you add another one. And what's interesting about that tiling game is, especially, it's meant to be cooperative in a way. Because when you put a tile and you make 2 people slide at the same time, so you slide and someone else slide, you get a bonus token for helping someone slide. So what's added is like you count the number of tiles you slide at the end of the game. So your meeple goes back to the beginning, slides down the water slide, and you count the number of tiles. And afterwards you count the number of bonus tokens you've acquired by helping others slide.
So is it cooperative?
It's semi-cooperative.
Semi-cooperative, okay.
Yes, because there's only one player who wins. But putting a tile to make someone else gain points gives you points too. So
and I've been seeing this a lot of Gen Con. I mentioned in a few videos the games that we're seeing is either like cooperative, semi-cooperative, or games where you kind of have to help other players to help yourself a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I find that interesting.
And in a water park, players can collide. You don't want people to be hurt in a water slide.
Right,
so.
no, of course. That would not be good.
So players always go their way, but they tend to stay close to each other to gain those bonus points. So a right strategy in the game is to always slide nearby someone else to help each other out, but also to gain more points.
Right. Okay, so this is great for people who really like those tile laying games like Carcassonne and things like that. So they all kind of meet together, and I'm assuming bigger maps, bigger tiling gives more benefits.
What happens is that at the end, the benefit of the game is you have a full. It's about the same with all tiling games, but this one looks gorgeous. The artwork looks gorgeous. So at the end, you have a full water park, the scale of water parks. So you have the impression of really having done a slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And what's about the age range for this time?
We've played with people at Gen Con of 6 years old, and they're able to catch it really quickly. But it's meant to be family range, meaning that gamers who have kids will enjoy it because there's a certain amount of strategy. You can loop with different segments of tiles and go around and make multiple points.
Right.
But kids who just want to lay tiles and see their little meeple slide down will enjoy it as well.
Exactly. So, and that's about it. It's all about
Sure. So, Head of Muscle is a deduction game, and it's a lot of a take that game. Foxmind usually don't do that, but this game we found it so funny that we needed to do it and offer it to people at Gen Con.
Exactly.
So, in the game, the game comes from an old English saying that the second mouse gets the cheese.
Yes.
If you're patient enough, you will get what you want.
Yes.
So in this game, if you're too fast playing, your mouse will get caught, and you will lose them. And during the round, the game lasts 5 rounds, and as you go along, you will lose your mouse. So you would have your own clan of mouse like these.
Yes.
I'll try to show it a bit to people, and I would give this to you.
Okay.
I will take mine too.
Okay.
And we have a speed order set for the turn. So each round we shuffle these cards, and the top one is the orange one, the slowest one is the purple one in this case.
Okay.
So on our turn we choose, both of us would choose 3 cards we want to put under the trap. So I'll choose quickly.
I'm just gonna pick a few just so we can see on this one.
And if you see some cards with a black symbol, there's one that has a black symbol.
I see it.
It's a squeaker mouse.
One that I picked.
And it's good.
Okay.
If it ends up first under the traps,
Yes.
what it will do is it will squeak and the house cat will catch the other one under it.
Oh.
So now it's not the second one who will get it, it's the third mouse who will get the cheese.
So that's kind of mean. It sounds like Carol's behind the camera. It sounds like a kind of game.
And once you have chosen your 3 cards, to give an hint to other players what you have chosen,
Right.
you will choose the mouse meeples that correspond to that color. So you put them in front of you. We'll skip that for now.
Okay.
And what we would do to play the game actually is to lay the cards under the mouse traps, face down, face up, alternatively. So if I start, I would do this.
Okay.
You could put one of yours.
Okay.
That would be face up this time.
Oh, wait, we face up this time.
Yes. And I could do like this.
Okay.
It's face down.
Okay.
And go ahead, you can put your...
Face up.
Yeah, you choose.
Sure. So I can put here or here?
Here it would be face down, there it's face up.
Face up. Okay, sure.
And I'm putting my face down card here.
Okay. And then I can do a face up here or face down here?
Yeah, you have the choice.
Sure, we'll just do that.
Okay. So now the end result of that round would be flipping up the cards and setting up the order under the mouse trap. So we see the orange one should be first.
Yep.
So we put it on top. And we have, the rest of the order is correct. So the white, green, and purple. So this one has been caught, so it's out.
Yeah.
I won't be able to play it until the end of the game.
Okay.
Here, this one gets the cheats.
Right.
So it comes back here. And the other 2, you get it back and you can use them for further rounds. And if we do the second trap, we have 2 blues.
Right.
So the first one being put under the trap is first, but it is a squeaker, so it means this one is caught.
Okay.
And the other one is caught by the house cat. So that stays there and other tokens will be added up on the mouse traps.
Okay.
And one thing interesting about the game is that we've added some flavor to it by daily events which act each round. So before we played those cards, we would actually have had an event triggered that would change the outcome of the game. So if I take just an example of it, there's one that's called Mice at the Front, meaning that we would have played all these cards face up and all the other ones face down.
Oh, okay.
So you need to guess which cards the players have put there.
Right.
So in the end of the game, you may have lost all your mice,
Right.
but the player who has the most cheese token, whatever number of mice they have in their hand, wins.
Okay, very cool. So there's a few elements that are happening here. It's not just a straight kind of deduction type game, which is
Yes.
really neat. So it sounds age-wise.
It's I would say it's 8 and up, but adult gamers will enjoy it as a beginning of a game night or end of a game night.
That's nice. I mean, once you start adding iconography and ways to manipulate the cards with other cards, I mean, that appeals to gamers, right?
Yes.
Other ways to affect the game. So that's great. Thank you so much for showing us all
Thank you
these
very
new
much.
games. We're looking forward to them, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.